Hello and welcome to Network. My name is Spumelele Zondi with your technology and social media news. Remember that if you want to be a part of our technology conversation, it is SABC Network. Now that's on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. News Network at sabc.co.za on email. This week, our Twitter poll is asking you if you stream music. This, as Nasty C, has been named by Apple Music as the most streamed South African musician on the platform. Results of that are coming up later in the program. But first, here's what's coming up tonight. As media personalities Robert Marawa and Thibaut Touch launch online TV platforms, we ask if video-on-demand services are viable options in South Africa. The fourth industrial revolution is discussed at the African television market. And our discussion is looking at issues of coding being introduced in schools. Lloyd Gordon is our guest for that one. Netflix changed the way we watch content. They allowed us to watch TV programs at our own time and leisure. Now, South Africa is getting some of that too. Media personalities Robert Marawa and Thibaut Touch are launching two separate TV streaming platforms.
Online television is one of the fastest growing media markets in South Africa, with video-on-demand platforms such as Netflix, Showmax and Black beginning to surpass traditional media as the nation's preferred content providers. This has caused the rise of streaming services in the country, which offers the flexibility and comfort that cannot be offered by traditional TV services.
People just want convenience. You got to meet people at their convenience, and online enables you to be in Japan and still keep your SA content. You can be in Argentina and watch Russian content. At one time, I was in Brazil, and I was in this hotel room, and when I'm sitting there, every channel was Portuguese, every channel. And I'm like, yes, this is 10 years ago. And I just wanted to watch sports. I wanted to watch Chiefs and Pirates. Now I can take Chiefs and Pirates with me to Brazil because of the power of this thing right here. Data is gonna fall. That's gonna happen. And she's a fighter, she's robust, and we are going to see more online platforms coming on the map because eventually there's going to be 25 Thibaut Touches.
Cheaper headset, greater access to network coverage and continually falling data prices have all contributed to the development of online broadcasting.
Today I understand there's been an announcement of the spectrum policy that she has now dealt with, but you can see over time the regulator is dealing with that, being able to, the issue of transferring or non-expiry of data, the issue of being able to save your data. So those are a number of things that are being initiated, and I believe once with the work that she's doing now, we'll be able to see the data prices going down.
While many say they enjoy the benefits of online TV, others feel that there are still data limitations.
Data is very expensive, so not everyone affords data. Like, data is super expensive. So some people cannot afford to be online the whole day.
For example, it's accessibility to smartphones, to computers, as accessibility to data as well, because you can have a computer, you can have a smartphone. If you don't have data, if you don't have Wi-Fi, then you're not gonna be able to access anything online. And knowing very well that South Africa is, I think it's the one country in Africa where data is ridiculously expensive.
Touch HD 24 will go live on July 28th and will feature hours of great local content.
New methods of distributing content were discussed at the recent Africa Television Market, which took place right here in Durban. It happens on the sidelines of the Durban International Film Festival. They also asked the government when digital terrestrial television will actually happen. The digital era means a lot of usual methods of distributing film and content are disappearing. Many are now getting their videos online. That's why the Africa Television Market decided to discuss content distribution in the fourth industrial revolution.
We've left so many content producers behind. How many people are creating content and sharing it on YouTube and not getting any views because they don't know how to operate that space. They don't know how to get the eyeballs in this new world onto the work that they've worked incredibly hard for.
See, with things changing now, we have content on
Showmax, we have content on Netflix, which means obviously that the space is actually growing for talent. And not only that, I think the ability for you as talent to create your own products and put it on Facebook TV or on social media gives you the platform now to be able to expose yourself to more as having to actually just deal with one form of platform.
South Africa has also stalled in the migration of analog to digital TV. The organizer of this event says this was a topic to discuss as the stagnation is really hurting content producers.
The stagnance and the slow development that is happening in migration, it is really affecting us because we are still looking at the same broadcasters to assist them in terms of content. So if we could open the world up, in terms of space as what migration is doing, then it's going to, as producers, local producers, production companies that are creative content producers are going to be able to provide.
Government says even though they can't give timelines yet, they've identified the problems that are causing the stagnation and are working on fixing them.
Some of the challenges is when people are registered for DTT, they don't get set-top boxes delivered, they don't get connected. So these are some of the things that we are picking up, and we are making a plan to ensure that they are addressed. Understand that when you review a program, that's the time that you are able to put all your timelines and your time frames.
Another aim of this event was to arm young filmmakers with information that will help them in this digital era. Folks at LG say the new Q60 smartphone uses artificial intelligence in clever ways. We played around with the new phone.
Hi, my name is Leila Sanjika, and today I'll be talking about the Q60 from LG. So LG just launched this phone and I had the opportunity to play with it, and this is what I really like about it. I'm a person who likes taking pictures of everything and anything and anywhere. And what I like mostly about the Q60, what LG really played well, is the 3-lens visuality and the selfie cam. Also, most importantly, is the quick finger access. I don't have to actually put on my print in order for my phone to open. I can just swipe at the top and it can automatically open from seeing me from the front. With the selfie camera, I can take a full wild picture without having to find any type of angle because it can get me fully and I don't have to do anything else. LG, you outdid yourself, especially for its retail price of $3,999. It has impeccable features. Just like any other smartphone, but just smarter.
It is SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. It's News Network at sabc.co.za on email. After the break, we chat about the government's plan to introduce coding in schools.
Next, wrong form, blue one, green form, orange form, periwinkle blue form.
Yo, for every kind of serious, there's a glass of not so serious. Come fill yours with Savannah Dry Premium Cider. Get a 12-pack of 330ml handies for only $139.99. Only from Tops at Spar. Not for persons under the age of 18.
Standoff between Alexandra residents and police. Following a forced eviction, officers retaliated by firing rubber bullets.
They just shoot at us. They don't even want to listen to us.
They've done us wrong as a community.
What created the situation? What led to these angry words being exchanged?
You're forcing me to say I have doubt. What is that thing? Don't treat me like a small boy. Don't do that. Because Human Rights Commission is not God.
Vuzimusi Dlamini, he's the senior investigator there, and he asked the question, can you just explain what this particular project did? Because of course there were a lot of money in that particular project, but it looks like little has been delivered.
is SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It's News Network at sabc.co.za on email. Now, the Gauteng Education Department is worried that a lot of parents are a bit slow on the online application process in schools and they're not submitting all the necessary documents in time.
We are encouraged actually as a province to see the response that we have actually witnessed with the online admissions. This is an indication that parents are saying yes, continue with the process, continue with the system. And as the department, like as the MEC has already got his own sentiments that, look, we really need to strengthen the system and make sure that we build it to, continue to give us the credible and accurate information that we have. Link it to the other systems of government so that it becomes a broader way of doing things. Look, the numbers are not lying. The numbers are saying almost everyone is in the system. I mean, when you look at the numbers, comparatively speaking, on the first day, on the 20th of May, we reached over 220,000. And when you compare that with last year, at the same time, we were at about 73,000. So it's an indication that, look, people really want to use the system, and we are actually happy about the response that we've received. So those that did not apply as yet, we just caution them that, look, we're not going to have late applications for this year, so they need to make sure that they apply on time, and we don't want doomsayers who will be saying, look, the system is not working. I mean, we've got almost everyone in the system now. We do look at our numbers, over 298,000, it's almost 300,000, so we are actually happy about the system. But yes, we really need to indicate that we are worried about the over 62,000 parents that did not submit documents. So we are giving them up until the 31st of July to submit their documents. Actually, on top of the 7 days that we normally give them, we give them extra 2 weeks. So parents need to make sure that they submit those documents, because if you don't submit documents, we're not going to be in a position to can place you. Because from the 1st of August up until the 29th of August, we will be focusing on verification of the lists coming from all the schools, districts, and head office will be working tirelessly to make sure that those lists are actually appropriate. From the 30th of August up until the 31st of October, that's when we will be conducting the placement period, and they will be receiving SMSs. We know that some parents will be receiving more than one offer. Just go back to the system, gdeadmissions.gov.za, go accept the space there.
As everyone talks about the fourth industrial revolution, government has said that they will be introducing coding in schools as of next year. I had a chat with coder and creator of the Open Omnia app, Lloyd Gordon, about this and whether it really is a good idea. He feels that teachers need to be adequately trained. Lloyd Gordon, thank you very much for joining us and for being a part of our network. Now, the government says they're introducing coding in schools next year, starting with primary school children. Is it necessary?
I think so. We are moving into the fourth industrial revolution, and it's vital for us to gain skills at a grassroots level, so that when students reach an advanced stage, they can actually grasp other concepts better, since they have that, since they are familiar with coding and other skills.
Now, kids need certain equipment for them to learn how to code. Is this equipment, like computers, available in schools?
There's no equipment, but government should be funding that, and I firmly believe that in order for us to move forward, government should be putting in money so that South Africa does not lag behind when it comes to technology.
You mentioned moving forward quite a bit. What's moving forward? What's coding actually needed for?
There's this big term thrown around, the fourth industrial revolution, and that's where the entire world is moving into now. And coding is one of the foundations of the fourth industrial revolution. And in order for South Africa to move forward, and be in line with what the world is doing technologically, we should be coding so that we can move forward as well and not lag behind.
Are we not creating a digital divide though? Because you find that urban schools have the tools and rural schools do not have the tools.
It depends on governments. I do think that kids with like basic problems like toilets, if that's happening there, there's still other issues that need to be addressed, before even get into computers in schools, So there will be a difference, there will be a divide, and it's one thing government should look into about addressing that and having all schools equal or all schools in line with technology and coding.
There's also an issue of mathematics and the fact that a lot of kids don't like taking maths. Is maths needed for one to learn how to code?
Maths is not really needed, but obviously you have courses like computer science that do have mathematics as a requirement, and skills you learn in computer science are very vital, and so you do need maths in that regard, but also for just learning coding, taking an online course, you don't really need maths, but it does help with some of the logic, and logic is the one thing that's really needed when it comes to coding, and once you gain that, you almost figured out everything.
Now, can South Africa move forward without coding being introduced in schools?
No, we cannot move forward without coding being introduced. I think it's one of the foundations of the fourth industrial revolution, because we cannot operate or create robots without coding. We cannot create software without coding, and so it's very vital and one of the foundations of the fourth industrial revolution.
How easy is coding?
It depends on who you are, but if you have a great teacher or if you have a great learning foundation, you can grasp it quickly, and I think that it's very vital for teachers to actually address everyone, even the guys who are not really as gifted in coding, to just, hey guys, come on, you can do it, encourage them, because we don't want to see a situation where some people are lagging behind.
And are teachers adequately trained for this?
No, to be honest. I think teachers themselves need to be taught or should be aligned with the fourth industrial revolution and coding and technology. I think once that happens, once they fully grasp what's going on, they can now pass that over to students.
All right, Lord Gordon, thank you very much for being a part of our network.
Yo, baby, this is your boy, Mr. Sweden Short, DJ Finzo. Yes, my piece of technology. You know what, Nick? I love my app on my phone. That's my favorite one. Yeah.
What I'm faced with tonight is exactly an example of what President Zuma and many others of us in South Africa have been faced with. You have to
answer for yourself.
I will not allow Carl Niehaus to mislead the people of South Africa.
Why are they pushing the SABC to the brink?
It could be a way of punishing the SABC.
To achieve what in the end?
We can only speculate.
Talk of an investigation into whether Vuyani Jahana leaked his resignation letter to the media. Is that going to fall into your lap?
Well, it wouldn't be.
Now, in 1963, Nelson Mandela, Ahmed Kathrada, Dennis Goldberg, and Andrew Mlangeni were accused of treason and stood trial.
We are standing in a spot with so much history.
This was actually the headquarters of the South African Communist Party.
The climb will be in celebration of 10 years of Nelson Mandela International Day.
What lies ahead of this climb as we live today is a big mountain.
Why did you decide to be part of this initiative?
The reason why I'm doing this is because I really believe in education and the doors it can open for you.
So education is the gateway.
Yes, actors today, the young actors, Kibo, we used to take advices from Abata.
It is SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It's News Network at sabc.co.za on email. Welcome back. Now, here's what else took place in the rest of the world in the technology space.
We begin here at home with news about the hacking of Johannesburg Power Utility's internet systems. City Power Company tweeted that it had been hit by a ransomware virus on Thursday, July 25th. The hit resulted in a blackout to the company's online system, leaving many Johannesburg residents unable to purchase electricity to upload to their prepaid meters. According to News 24, the company spokesperson Isaac Mangena said that they wanted to assure residents of Johannesburg that City Power systems were able to proactively intercept the virus and manage to deal with it quicker. He also added that customers should not panic as none of their details were compromised. And now in Australia. The country is to establish the world's first dedicated office within an antitrust regulator to police Facebook Inc. and Google, setting a precedent for global lawmakers grappling with US technology giants' dominance.
It is a time of rapid technological change, and Australians need a regulatory framework that is fit for purpose and better protects and informs Australian consumers. The government accepts the ACCC's overriding conclusion that there is a need for reform.
The move outlined in a report tightens the regulatory screws on the technology behemoths, which have governments from the United States to Europe scrambling to address concerns ranging from antitrust issues to alleged political bias to the spread of fake news and hate speech. And now in Japan. Miniature remote-controlled cars have proved to be a crowd pleaser at track and field throwing events, but for the Tokyo 2020 Olympics, Toyota Motor Corp is upping the game with a high-tech way to fetch javelins and hammers, pin-sized self-driving AI robot cars.
The biggest mission for this mascot robot is to give a boost to the Tokyo 2020 Olympic and Paralympic Games.
Toyota plans to use the games to showcase its new vehicle technologies ranging from fuel cell buses to on-demand self-driving taxis as it competes with industry rivals and tech firms to develop affordable autonomous cars and electric vehicles.
Now, as Apple Music has said that Nasty C is their most performing musician from South Africa on the platform, this week our Twitter poll is asking you if you stream music at all. Now, 42% of you say yes, you do stream music. That number is tied with another 42% of people who say they prefer downloading as opposed to streaming. 4% of you say you prefer CDs. That's in last place. We also have 12% of you who say you actually don't really pay for music. I wonder how you get your music if you don't really pay for it. That's all we have for you. Find us on SABC Network. Now that's on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It's newsnetwork at sabc.co.za on email. From me and the rest of the team right here in Durban, thank you very much for being a part of our network. Have a good one. It's good night.